So tomorrow we have a quiz of 20 questions. Now, here on the first three, I have trapezoids. Right, the top and bottom are parallel. On trapezoids, the interesting part of trapezoids is that two angles at the side add up to 180. So if one angle is 129, I'm going to say the other angle is 51. Right, just 180 minus 129 gave me 51. So the two angles at the side have to add up to 180. Now here I'm asking, find a measure of the angle indicated. We see the question mark there. When we have an isosceles trapezoid, the angles on the left repeat on the right. So the question mark will be 51 degrees. Right? When we have an isosceles trapezoid, the angles on the left are the same as the angles on the right. So that question mark is 51 degrees. Now, let me skip to question number 3. The two angles on the side of a trapezoid, once again, add up to 180. My angle S is 90, right? The little box we can tell is 90. I need to find out how big is angle R. So I'm just going to go 180 minus the angle that is given. 180 minus 90. I'm going to find out that angle R is equal to 90 degrees. Now, angle Q and P, on question number 3, angles Q and P, I have no idea what they are because it's not an isosceles trapezoid. So sometimes I'll give an isosceles trapezoid like in question number 1. Sometimes no isosceles trapezoid like question number 3. But the two angles on each side add up to 180. Then we're also going to talk about the diagonals. Question number 2. The segment SU, I'm telling you guys the segment SU is 5.3. So that's the whole diagonal. When we have an isosceles trapezoid, the diagonals are equal to each other. Notice SU is a diagonal. The other diagonal is TV. Then in isosceles trapezoid, the two diagonals are equal to each other. Here I'm asking how big is TV. I'm just going to call it 5.3. That's it, right? The answer is basically given. From the 20 questions in the quiz tomorrow, from question number 1, you're going to see 2 of them. From questions 2 and 3, you're going to see 3 of each. So 2 from number 1, and then 3 of the other 2. So that's 8 questions from tomorrow. Any questions on these?
Wait, for number 2, it's always going to be the same?
The two diagonals equal each other.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So we're good on those 2? On those 3, I mean? All right, since we're good on trapezoids, let me talk about parallelograms. Now, looking at my example number 4, angle G and angle E are equal because they're opposite, right? They're far from each other. So I'm just going to say 27x minus 1 is equal to 80, right? Opposite angles are equal. Then the rest is just algebra. I'm going to add 1 to each side. 27x equals 81. Then divide both sides by 27. X in this case is 3. Opposite angles are equal. Now, let's say instead of giving you angle E was 80, if I would have put it on angle F, if I would have put the 80 there, then those two are not equal. I would have added everything and we'll let it equal to 180. Right? Opposite angles are equal, but adjacent angles that are next to each other, add everything and equals to 180. So once again, if I have put in the 80 on the F, they don't equal each other. Add everything equals 180. In this case, they do. Looking at question number 5, angle L, there's a bunch of things for angle L, but the entire angle L and angle M, those two are adjacent. So I'm going to add those two angles. I'm going to add everything from L. I'm going to add everything from M. I'm going to add everything. So I have x plus 52 plus 63 plus 65. Add everything. And in this case, equals 180. Because those two angles are adjacent, right next to each other. Let me separate into the equal sign. 52 plus 63 plus 65. I can condense that. When I add all those numbers, that's 180. So I have x plus 180 equals 180. Now subtract 180 from each side. X is equal to 0. 0 is a number. I know usually when we see 0, we think we're wrong. 0 is a number, so x equals 0. Looking at question number 6, notice how every time I deal with angles, I put the number inside the picture. Here, my numbers are outside, so I'm not talking about the angles. I'm talking about the sides. I'm looking at side CB, and I'm looking at side DA. Opposite sides are equal. So I'm going to say that 5x minus 1 is equal to 14. I'm just going to add 1. 5x equals 15. So x must be 3. So far, so good. Lysander, we're good? Yeah. Shout out for Lysander. Okay, now looking at question number 7. Here I'm telling you guys, EG equals 12. From E to G is 12. If you notice, EG is the whole diagonal. When we're talking about parallelograms, the diagonals get cut in half. So if the whole thing is 12, I'm going to say it's going to be cut into 6 and 6, right? I cut it in half. Now, my second equation, I say KG equals 3x. Based on the picture, I look at the distance from K to G, KG. I see it's 6. So I'm going to rewrite the second equation, but instead of KG, I'm going to say 6 is equal to 3x. Then work it out from there, right? In this case, divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 2. That's it. From these examples, these 4 examples, you're going to see 3 of them, 3 of each on the quiz. So that makes your 12 for a total of 20. Any questions? No?